Welcome to Unittus. You're actually in the uWorld community right now, and we're actually on the screen of My uProfile Builder. What we're going to do today is take just a few minutes to teach you a little bit about our system, about the features, and how you can benefit and enrich your life by the utilization of our platform and with the culture that we're actually building throughout the world. My social life is pretty much your personal information. And here you basically will put in things that are appropriate for you. So if you are single and if you are of dating interest, then you can certainly put in the traditional features and fields that are appropriate for you. The other things that we've done is we've asked some very appropriate provocative questions, and what this does is it helps the world learn a lot more about you, how you manage your thoughts and what's interesting to you or things you like or don't like. So look, for example, if won the lottery. All right, that's a profound question, and the answers that we get from people are just amazing. The biggest influencers in your life, things you can't live without, things you can't live with, your dreams and your world wishes, your greatest achievements. Now, one important thing to point out is that although we are just like a dating site for at least those that are interested in social interest, we are much greater than a dating site because we offer social connectivity for people that are not in the dating world right now. There are a lot of people that are happily in partnerships or in marriages that they're not actively dating, but they have an actual active social life, and they may want to meet other people that are of like interest. So we say socially seeking, as you can see here. And again, if you are actually looking for a dating, just like a traditional dating site, you'll have the opportunity to put the types of things that are interesting to you or important to you. So let's go up here. This is Johnny Unittus. You can tap him or mail him at any time. He is the Unittus mascot. And we're just going to edit some information. And so all you want to do is very simply go up to your edit button in the area that you are, and I'm going to call this Unittus Demo. And you can put anything you want, and as soon as you have it, you can correct it at any time. You can add information at any time, and you'll notice that several of the field entries are actually drop downs. So here you have the ability to put whatever you want, and then you can add things. So if you have like a multi-country residence, you can simply do that by adding a comma. And if you start typing in any of them, it'll automatically go to the alphabetical character of what you're typing. So we're in the United States, and we're happy with that. Now you see it just pops up the states in the United States. We'll put Florida, and it basically secures that information. And we're going to walk down and we'll put Sarasota, Florida, and we'll actually start typing with an S. And there you go. We save Sarasota, and what that does now is it saves all that information in our profile. Now you can just do this throughout the entire profile, put as little or as much as you'd like. You can put your pets, if you have children, their ages, whatever you want to share with the world. Keep in mind that the more you share, the more possibility there is for connectivity with people of like interests, or you of showing demonstration of things that you may offer the world that someone else might be looking for. So that's our personal. Now if we go to our career life, it's very similar to what you might think. You have an entire area where you can put a summary of your career. You can put your status, which is very important. So you can basically put, are you an employer, are you an employee, are you unemployed, are you an opportunity seeker, or are you a freelancer? Lots of difference, and at any time, whether there's a drop down or not, you can add information by just keying in words and then putting a comma, and you can have multiple words. You don't want to make an extensive list, but you want to make a thorough list of the things that are important that you want to share with the world. So for example, you may have an organization or a professional organization that you are associated with, and it would be very interesting to find like-minded or like-same people around the world that are associated with the same organization. Now when you open up your leisure life screen, this is where it gets to be all about your why list, your bucket list, your passion list. So you can, very first thing you say is, leisurely seeking what? Well, let's give Johnny Unitas a few things to leisurely seek. So let's say leisurely seeking fun and happiness. Alright, so we're just going to save that, and that'll populate it. Anybody says that, if someone's also searching for fun and happiness, they may come up with Johnny Unitas. But we have all the different things that are important in one's life: their favorite music, their favorite movies, their television, books, author, traveling. How often do you travel? What do you travel for? Places you've been to, places you're going to, kind of that bucket or dream list. Entertainment, your dining interest. Then we get to sports. Are you a spectator sports or a participant sports or hobbyist? Your favorite teams, favorite athlete clubs, charitable interest, and community services. So why are we doing all this? Well, because social networking is not just about activity, it's about productivity, and that's what Unittus is really all about. You can come here and within a minute or two you can get an amazing flavor on someone's entire world, their whole life, if they're willing to share it with you. So the other thing that we have is we have an entire organization of U-Picks that are very similarly structured. So right now we have in my social U-Picks, we have little Johnny Unitas. So first thing we have the ability to do is to double click on this, and what that'll do is it'll blow him up. Hey, he's a nice looking man, and we basically have the ability to title that picture. So if you have something about being a particular area or a particular date that you want a date stamp, you can put that. So we've got Johnny Unitas headshot. Okay, so we'll leave that for now, and you can save it, you can delete it, or you can make any picture that you bring up basically your profile picture. Since we already have Johnny as the profile picture, we're just going to go ahead and close this out. Very simple. Now anytime you want to add pictures, you just go to your Manage Your U-Picks, you click, a pop-up will come up. First thing we'll ask you is, do you want this to be in your social, your career, your leisure area? It will display up to 8 pictures at one time on your page, but you can have multiple pictures. You notice that the size limitation is 2 megs, but it will automatically frame it for you. Once you pick which area you want, then you just go in your computer and find that picture. If it uploads and you have a green light, it means it's ready to download onto your profile. If you get a red light, it means something in our filtering that wasn't appropriate or didn't like it, or the size was too big, and it won't actually upload. And that's really all there is about our U profile builder. You'll notice on the signature, well actually I didn't reckon it. Let's go ahead and put him in. I thought he was already in there. So we're going to go into our big picture, and we're going to simply say make this our profile picture, and just like that, that picture comes up. Doesn't that look nice with his blue shirt? It'll display the flag of the location, name, and then underneath here, since we didn't put it, it would put their business, it would put their career seeking, their social seeking, and their leisure seeking. So you'll see how important that is in just a few minutes. The other thing you'll see is an icon, or we call them a pin here. You can scroll over and this will show the level that this individual is. And as you get to know people within the Unittus community, you'll see that a lot of people have lots of different pins, which signify a different level of achievement for our social advisors, and in the long run with some of our Uniters that are just enjoying our product. When you see a gray question mark, that means there's additional information on any page that might have this. So if you just click on the question mark, you'll see a pop-up that comes up, and it'll just give you more detailed information on this particular page. So that's really about it for your U profile. So now let's go to our U mail, and this is where you right now have internal U-mail and U-taps from other people, as we're going to see in just a few minutes. But I'm going to first just take a check and see if we have any. So you come to your U-mail, you have corporate items, which are what corporate has sent you. You have requests. These are people that have request friendship or connection with you. So let's see if we have any. Okay, we have one that has come in. So I'm going to go ahead and open it with a click, and you notice instantly I have the ability to accept it, to block it, or to say, well, I'm really not sure who this person is. I'm going to go and see if I can look at their profile. So I'm just going to accept this one now. What this will do, it'll open us up to having communications. And so we have a uChat system built into our system, which is like no other in the world, which we're going to display in just a few minutes. And as I do this, you have drafts, you have inbox, you have deleted items, very similar to any other mail service. And there's a lot more development that's coming down the pike in this. So now, before we go have some fun and search, you have also on my account. This basically is all the information pages that has to do with your account with Unittus. You can upgrade at any time. If you did not come in at the U Pro level and you came in as a U Free, potentially you can change your personal information you have with the company. Your advisor status you can change. This will be your order history. If you need additional credit cards on file, the buy U tokens we'll talk about at another time. Of course, you can change your password, and this is very important. If you ever have any need for support or services, the best way to have connections with us is through our different departments. So all you have to do is just come and look at what department, if you have billing issues, if you have Uniter issues, is for our product only supported customers. Advisors are for our social advisors that are helping us build Unittus throughout the world, and then the rest are fairly self-explanatory. We'd love to hear from you in terms of testimonies and comments. If you have things about our platform that you really like, if there's experiences you've had or connections you've made, we would certainly love to hear from you. Any technical questions, please just go to webmaster@unittus.com. If you have screenshot capability, if you see any error messages, please take a screenshot, send that right into us. And what is very helpful, if you give us the exact date and time that the error occurs, because then we can actually find that error so much faster. Just helps us be a very efficient company for your benefit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to demonstrate our chat. And so let's see if we have anybody that happens to be online. So I see a couple people online. So I'm going to just open up a chat and I'm going to say, hi, are you there? So it works very similar as any other instant messaging that you've seen in the world, with just one very major exception. And we're going to demonstrate that now. So let's just see. I'm just going to go say hi to a few people and see if anybody happens to be by their computer right now. While I'm waiting to see if anyone will respond, if you look at this little T, it says Translate Conversation. If you pop that open, what you're going to find is all the major languages in the world. And ladies and gentlemen, this is really a first. You can choose, depending on your subscription level, a different language. So let's say that you're French, and you can be speaking to anybody in the world in your native tongue. So I'm basically speaking in English, but watch what happens. And it has automatic spell check, but of course I didn't do that. So what's going to happen now is, again, I selected French, didn't I? And if we can get anybody to respond, voila. What you're seeing, ladies and gentlemen, is that anytime someone is instant messaging to me, it'll be in a language of your choice. And at the same time, you will see the conversion of the language that it was originally written in. It's a pretty amazing tool, and what does that do? It just breaks down the barrier for each and every one of you to be able to talk to anyone in the world. it's a profound service opportunity to break down the barriers of international connectivity, whether it be for socializing, dating, business, or just passions and leisure time activity. So again, take a look at all these languages, and they all work very, very well. So, an amazing tool. Just think of the possibilities of what and how you can use that to enrich your life, empower your life, and bring greater experiences and potential prosperity to your life. So let's go have some fun. So now we want to say, well, let's just say that we are in the dating world and we are interested in finding someone of interest. So I'm going to just take a look. I'm now in the U search area, and I'm going to say, all right, I'd like to find a woman, and I'll go look for men too. First we'll start looking for a woman, and I'm just going to say blonde here. Well, I'm going to say blonde, and why don't we say, I guess we could go blue eyes. Makes it easy. And we'll just leave it at that for a simple search. So we update our search criteria. You notice that it populates the area, and we just scroll down and we simply search. And that's really all it's doing. What Unittus is, it is the search engine of human beings in the world. So immediately we have found blonde female with blue eyes. And we can go on any of these right now and take a look at their profile. So if you see someone that's interesting to you, you have a couple choices. Number one, you can do what's called a U-tap or a kiss. This is just a simple way to just nudge somebody and say, hey, I've noticed you. And they'll get that, and then if they want to go look at your profile, they can U-tap you back or try to ask questions from your instant messaging. Or if you really want to send a more of a dialogue message, all you do is just click on the U-mail of this individual, and it'll automatically bring up your U-mail, and you'll be able to actually type in just like any other standard. So here is now Willie is actually speaking in his native tongue of Spanish, and it's still coming to me in French. So let's change this to Chinese traditional, and let's have a little fun with that. Wow, we have a lot. So let's say, please continue. So we're just trying a different language, but you can see all of the different dialogue, and he spoke in Spanish, he spoke in English, and whatever the dialogue of what's coming in, it will take that and capture it, but at the same time it'll convert it to the language of your choice. We're just going to do a little more so you can see the power of this system. Just start to let your mind wander in terms of what you can do with this. And we'll come back to that in a minute. So you have a couple choices. Let's say you didn't get quite what you were looking for. You can revise your search just by clicking this button. If you want to do a new search, you click here. If you say this is a search I'm going to continue to want to use, depending on your feature set on the system, your subscription level, you can save searches. Now if you find an interesting person, you have the ability to go right to their their U profile. You can click on their U profile and you can go right to it, and you can start learning a little bit about that individual. So from a personal perspective, it's amazing for personals, because not only can you find people all over the world of likeness, you can also learn so much more about them so fast, and that's what this is all about, is high productivity, not high activity alone. This is about really making things happen to improve your lives. So let's just say that you're a business person. And let's just say as an example that you just created the best cat food in the world. It makes them healthy and happy, and they all live to be 30 years old. So that's not an easy catch to find, is it? You can go into pet magazines, or you can go to pet shows, or do advertising on pet cable channels, what have you. But you know, you're going to waste a lot of that advertising dollars. Well, just by having a subscription on Unittus gives you the ability to do as many searches and connects as you want. depending on which level. So under pets, I'm going to say we've pre-populated with cats. We're just going to say, okay, we're going to do a search for how many cat owners there are. We've captured that data. And we're simply going to search for cat lovers. Now, again, we may have a lot more cat owners on the system, but these are the people that filled out their profiles and actually said, hey, I've got a cat. How about that? Pretty interesting. You immediately have a worldwide prospect base for your cat food. Pretty interesting, isn't it? Very exciting for just about any type of business. Right now, there's 50 that have said that I'm a cat owner. Just to show you the power of this, let's do something a little bit just more obscure. Let's say that you just designed a beautiful saddle for horses. It was the best in the world, but you needed to find people to try it, to give you testimonies, right? I mean, again, you can do the traditional means of advertising where 50% of your money is probably being wasted. You simply come on Unittus, you look under pets. Now, wouldn't that be kind of bizarre to have a pet as a horse? But let's just see what happens. It really is just that simple, and it doesn't take but a couple seconds to find out if there's anybody that has pet horses in the world. I'm not expecting to see any, but you just never know what Unittus will find searching the world for you. And look at this. There are 2 people, one in the United States and one in the United Kingdom, that have actually filled out their profile and said, I have a horse that I classify as a pet. And it just goes on and on and on and on. Now, let's go into the leisure world. So hopefully, if you're in business, if you're an opportunity seeker, if you're an employer or employee, there are unlimited resources of what you can do. But let's now go on the leisure world. And leisure life, and basically, let's just say very simply that we want to say who's a spectator in golf. I don't know, that's a pretty easy one. Let's see. Spectator, and we're just going to say golf. Okay, we just start dialing in, we find it, we update. And we simply search the world for you. And look at that. Instantly we have golfers around the United States, Ireland, Australia. So that if you wanted to go to Ireland, which has obviously some of the most beautiful and renowned golf courses in the world, I think they were the first ones or the oldest ones. I don't know, I'm not a golfer. But there you go. John would be happy to talk to you about golf in Ireland. Pretty special, isn't it? Again, we are building the search engine of human beings for whatever reason or needs you might have. So the more exciting your profile is, the more the ability that people of like-minded interests can connect with you and can do it effortlessly and quickly. Now, if you are an advisor and you've decided to get into our business opportunity section, that's where we have an entire section just for you. You have a UT manager which manages your whole international build. We also talk about how you make money each and every week, which is weekly. This is how you get paid your commissions. But what's very important is when you come here to the web ID, this is where you brand and I put your identifier marks. You're given an actual number from the corporation which stays with you forever, but you can come and customize this by simply just highlighting that web ID area, punch in whatever you want, and if no one has taken it in the system so far, then you can hit submit, it will be saved, and it's permanently yours. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for giving me a short tour of the Unittus uWorld community. We appreciate your interest. Have fun, do some searching and surfing, and let us know how Unittus has been empowering your life into the future.